Yo, it's your boy Logos, and today I want to react to one of my favorite comedians of all time, George Carlin. This time talking about having no rights, even if you're a US citizen. I'm curious to see his stance on it, or his reasoning behind his point of view. Maybe it has something to do with our government being more tyrannical over the years. Maybe it's the way their police force is getting more militaristic. And that's not saying I want to defund the police. I'm just saying it gets kind of, I don't know, concerning when you have your populace being controlled by people that is very well armed and they have stuff like tanks. And then the future continues and we have AI get very, very much stronger. Who knows how that could be used against the population in terms of surveillance, policing, or stopping freedom of thought. And that's not something I'm a fan of. And that's also part of the reason why I support the Second Amendment. But let's see what George Carlin got to say.
Rights. Boy, everyone in this country is always running around yammering about their fucking rights. I have a right. You have no right. We have a right. They don't have a right. Folks, I hate to spoil your fun, but there's no such thing as rights, okay? They're imaginary. We made them up, like the boogeyman. The Three Little Pigs, Pinocchio, Mother Goose, shit like that. Rights are an idea. They're just imaginary. They're a cute idea. Cute. But that's all. Cute and fictional. But if you think you do have rights, let me ask you this. Where do they come from? People say, well, they come from God. They're God-given rights. Oh, fuck, here we go again. Here we go again. The God excuse, the last refuge of a man with no answers and no argument. It came from God. Anything we can't describe must have come from God. Personally, folks, I believe that if your rights came from God, he would have given you the right to some food every day, and he would have given you the right to a roof over your head. God would have been looking out for you. God would have been looking out for you. You know that? He wouldn't have been worried about making sure you have a gun so you can get drunk on Sunday night and kill your girlfriend's parents. But let's say it's true. Let's say God gave us these rights. Why would he give us a certain number of rights? The Bill of Rights in this country has 10 stipulations, okay? 10 rights. And apparently God was doing sloppy work that week because we've had to amend the Bill of Rights an additional 17 times. So God forgot a couple of things like slavery. Just fucking slipped his mind. But let's say God gave us the original 10. He gave the British 13. The British Bill of Rights has 13 stipulations. The Germans have 29. The Belgians have 25. The Swedish have only 6. And some people in the world have no rights at all. What kind of a fucking goddamn God-given deal is that? No rights at all? Why would God give different people in different countries different numbers of different rights? Boredom? Amusement? Bad arithmetic? Do we find out at long last after all this time that God is weak in math skills? Doesn't sound like divine planning to me. Sounds more like human planning. Sounds more like one group trying to control another group. In other words, business as usual in America. Now,
In the
if you
world.
think you do have rights, one last assignment for you. Next time you're at the computer, get on the internet, go to Wikipedia. When you get to Wikipedia, in the search field for Wikipedia, I want you to type in Japanese Americans 1942, and you'll find out all about your precious fucking rights, okay? All right. You know about it. You know about it. Yeah. In 1942, there were 110,000 Japanese American citizens and good standing, law-abiding people who were thrown into internment camps simply because their parents were born in the wrong country. That's all they did wrong. They had no right to a lawyer, no right to a fair trial, no right to a jury of their peers, no right to due process of any kind. The only right they had, right this way, into the internment camps. Just when these American citizens needed their rights the most, their government took them away. And rights aren't rights if someone can take them away. They're privileges. That's all we've ever had in this country is a bill of temporary privileges. And if you read the news even badly, you know that every year the list gets shorter and shorter and shorter. You see how similar? Yeah. Sooner or later, the people in this country are going to realize the government does not give a fuck about them. Government doesn't care about
Facts.
you or your children or your rights or your welfare or your safety. It simply doesn't give a fuck about you. It's interested in its own power. That's the only thing, keeping it and expanding it wherever possible.
Yep.
Personally, when it comes to rights, I think one of two things is true. I think either we have unlimited rights or we have no rights at all. Personally, I lean toward unlimited rights. I feel, for instance, I have the right to do anything I please. But if I do something you don't like, I think you have the right to kill me. So where are you going to find a fairer fucking deal than that? So the next time some asshole says to you, I have a right to my opinion, you say, oh yeah? Well, I have a right to my opinion, and my opinion is you have no right to your opinion. Then shoot the fuck and walk away.
Another good clip from George Carlin. I think he's right on the nose about the Japanese internment camps, especially how, from my understanding, it wasn't justified. I understand that you got snuck attacked by the Japanese in Pearl Harbor, but at the same time, these are still American citizens. You can't make assumptions about their loyalty just because of the fact they're Japanese. They're good citizens. They were producers. They didn't get involved in any crime or they didn't try to sabotage anything at all, but you still lock them away in internment camps. That doesn't sound very free and American to me. And as time goes on, I think even going back to World War I with God, I can't Woodrow Wilson. Like he had some laws or bills that was passed that, from my memory, that was very tyrannical and limited the press and limited what the American people could say about the government during wartime. And then, of course, like I always say, just because one administration uses it and they claim it's for some type of good, doesn't mean the future administration going to use it for evil or bad and claim that they'll use it now for good too. That's why they'll support certain stuff like the Patriot Act or how they try to stop whistleblowers. From my understanding, that was something Obama did. He went after whistleblowers during his term in office. I don't support that stuff, regardless if he was black, white, or whoever he is. It's just not right. People are doing bad things in government. The American people should know that. But if you try to stop people from doing so, it sounds like you're very much complicit and you likely ordered it or somebody's ordering you to let it happen. I don't trust a politician, like I said in the previous video, regardless of how they look like. I just trust what they do and I hope they follow through with their policies. That's the only thing I care about, policies and results. Not your gender, sexuality, skin color, such and so forth. I don't even care about your political party. As long as your policy makes sense and is backed up with evidence and it proves out results and you choose and show to give a damn about the American people, then 9 times out of 10 I'm gonna vote for you. But if you just come at me with this identity politics or try to make me afraid of one side or the other side and exaggerate the issues or exaggerate people's intentions, I'm not gonna jump on your side. I'm not a fan of you. Similar to what I was talking about in the previous George Carlin video about the environmentalists destroying art, destroying the fountain in Rome. I think the Ivory or something like that, the Revi fountain in Rome because of I don't know climate change and trying to get awareness out. Destroying paintings, going on the interstate in Europe or across the country and blocking traffic because they want to stop people using fossil fuels in their cars. It just sounds like absurdity to me, and that's not gonna get me on your side. I hate it because you're just causing problems for me, but you're not actually fixing anything. But that's just me. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. It's your boy Logos, and I'll see you next time. Peace.